It's an inconsistency that has been ever present as long as chases have been captured on film. Pursuits of all kinds have been used as on-screen fillets since the dawn of cinema, and as with all new endeavours, there are inevitable kinks to be ironed out. However, you'd expect said kinks to be sorted out within a certain period of time. You wouldn't expect the same issue occurring, say, over a century later. Someone please bring a tape measure to set. They do laser ones now. I'm Mr. X, and these are my pet peeves for movies and TV. Number 2. As a wholly visual medium to begin with, before pianos were brought in to add an auditory dimension, the visual verve and vigour that lateral movement provided garnered more attention than simple static shots, for instance. Chases have been an on-screen staple since before the days of old Stoneface, the late great Buster Keaton. Famously, the first moving pictures involved a horse taking flight at full gallop. Fairly cheap to do, all being relevant of course. A goodie chasing a baddie, or a baddie chasing a goodie, or Benny Hill chasing a lawsuit. Film pursuits can give a boon to on-screen proceedings, adding thrills and spills to the more narrative and character-driven scenes. It was Bullitt in 1968 that tends to be credited by film historians as including the first car chase to be shown on the silver screen, or high-speed car chase anyway. However, chases on foot or horseback were pasted to celluloid far earlier, with horse and carriage racing in westerns, chariot racing in biblical epics, and simple foot chases that stars of the 1910s and 20s, such as the aforementioned Buster Keaton and his historic contemporary Charlie Chaplin, used to great acclaim. Most of the latter half of Buster Keaton's The General in 1926 was told with a chase on a train in a set piece that's as thrilling as it is hilarious to this very day. Seriously, go online and watch The General. It's free on YouTube and it's fantastic. But you are not here for a lecture on all things chase. And surely even the most casual of viewers must have noticed this unwelcome trope. For example, in one shot, the two people, bikes, cars, planes, or spaceships are a very clearly defined distance from one another, the chasee looking for all the world as if they are about to be grasped by the chaser. Then we cut to the next shot, and the former couldn't touch the latter with a barge pole. We cut again, and now suddenly they could almost spoon one another, and it repeats again and again ad nauseum to the screams of the pedantic. I don't think it's a coincidence that pedantic begins with the word pedant. Continuity is one of those thankless jobs that, if you tend to your duties well, no one will notice. Kind of like a referee, or a bus driver, or a parking attendant. Actually, no, everyone hates them no matter how they perform. Anyway, what I mean to convey is they are not people I wish to discourage nor disparage, except parking attendants. But this alarmingly current occurrence, the lack of consistent continuity in a multi-dozen billion-dollar industry, isn't going to be caught by the props department now, is it? When the chase is between two people of similar physical attributes, constant sudden yo-yoing in the distance between the two in a foot pursuit from one shot to the next can get irritating. When it's between Carl Lewis and a 3-year-old waddling down the street, it can be pull your hair out infuriating. Oh yeah, ever remember the time a toddler-age Princess Leia outran, well, I don't know what those creatures are, but they were fast enough to catch something that a year ago was crawling. Do they only refer back to continuity photos for blood splatters and which way a baseball cap is pointing? Never mind that in the last shot there was a 17-meter gap between the two actors, and current blocking has it so that if the assailant reaches forward, they'd be able to palm the victim's head like a basketball. A chase should be exhilarating, a firecracker up the behind of on-screen proceedings to get the blood pumping, beautifully juxtaposed to the slower, more emotional beats of a TV episode or film. The audience shouldn't be constantly brought out of the story because the filmmakers can't distinguish between 1 and 100 meters. An audience's enjoyment shouldn't be dampened because dozens of people on set or location don't appear to have depth perception or myopic editors. Somebody please bring a tape measure to set.